Hello, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Becca and today I am going to be recommending you some good fall reads. So you may notice our setup is a little bit different. This is only temporary. I left it a little bit late to film and I'm losing light. So this is where I keep my hardbacks. I know I have mentioned them in my videos, but yeah, this is where my hardbacks live. So today I'm going to be recommending you 5 books from different genres, and they're all books that I believe would be really great to read in fall. So getting straight into it, the first one is one that I don't own, and that is Emma in the Night by Wendy Walker. This is an adult thriller about 2 sisters that go missing, and then many years later one of them returns. It's essentially a full mystery surrounding what happened to the other sister, and it's very creepy, it's very dark. It also has a lot to do with narcissism and parents, and I think I rated this a 3 out of 4 on Goodreads, but I tend to be quite hard rating thrillers. Realistically, it's the best thriller I've ever read, so it is very good, and it's just very creepy, very dark, very twisted, which is why I think it would be perfect to read in fall. The second book I would like to recommend is the second in a young adult sci-fi series, and that is Cinder and the Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. This is a story that is based on retellings of fairy tales set in mostly in space, sometimes not in space, but it's just generally really fun. The first book follows Cinder, who is a mechanic in New Beijing, and she is part cyborg. The prince comes and asks her to help him fix his android, and from there she kind of gets embroiled in a bigger plot. I just find this series really fun. They're really easy to read. They're really quick to fly through. So if it's like a cold fall evening and you're looking for something that you can just flip through and be absorbed with, this would be perfect. Moving on to an adult fantasy, I recommend the Tealing series by Erica Johansson, the first book being Queen of the Tealing. This follows a young princess who is about to become queen. However, she's never set foot in her kingdom, and that is because her mother sent her away for fear that she would be assassinated. So she goes back to her kingdom and finds it in ruin. There is a slave trade agreement with a neighbouring country. Her uncle is sitting on the throne as the regent, and he's just generally a terrible person. And it is about her growing up, becoming a woman, and trying to do what's best for her country. This also contains some sci-fi elements. I don't want to tell you what because I don't want to spoil it. The only thing I would say about this is be wary because it is very slow. However, when you get into the plot, I found it super fascinating, especially with the weird sci-fi element where you don't feel like it should be. It is a very deeply political series, but I found that as soon as I got into the plot, I could just read chapters and chapters and chapters, and I just wanted to find out what was happening next. Next, I have an adult historical fiction that reads more like a contemporary, and that is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Now, we all know that summer is the time for contemporaries, so I recommended this one, which is a little bit different. It follows an aging starlet who has hired a journalist to tell her life story. However, she will only tell this one particular journalist her life story, but the journalist doesn't know why, and Evelyn won't tell her. This book has some great LGBT rep from a variety of different characters. Evelyn herself is biracial. She is half Cuban, I think. And this story is sordid, salacious, heartwarming, heartbreaking, and I think you're really gonna love it. I recommend this as like a contemporary for fall because it's not your normal like summer romance contemporary, and I feel like the cold weather and like the darkening evenings accentuate the old Hollywood glamour that takes place in this book. And lastly, we have another adult historical fiction, and that is Water for Elephants by Sarah Gruen. This follows a young boy who's training to be a vet. However, both his parents die and there is no money to pay for the rest of his tuition, as his father was a vet, but because he loved animals so much, he would give away his treatments for free or for barter instead of for money. So when his parents die, our main character finds out that he's on his own. He's just about to complete his veterinary exams, however he hasn't, and so he can't be a vet. He walks down the train tracks, he finds this circus and starts to fall in love with the ringmaster's wife. I found this story beautiful, I found it moving. I think it's perfect for fall because circuses just make me think of fall. It's a lovely little historical romance. Both of the characters in this story fall in love with an elephant, which is definitely something I can get behind as an animal lover. So that is everything for my fall reading recommendations. Please let me know if you've read any of these or if you want to pick any of these up. As usual, please don't forget to like this video if you liked it and subscribe if you want to. If you head into my description box, you'll find a link to my Goodreads, Instagram and Twitter if you'd like to follow me on any of those, as well as a link to my Bookish body set and candle website, the Instagram for that, and 10% off discount code. But that's it from me today. Bye!
Oh, you bite your friend like chocolate. You say you'll go and nobody knows, with guns hidden under our petticoats. We're never gonna quit it, no, we're never gonna quit it, no.